Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for a new battle report. This time I'm facing Tim aka Chainsaw from the team Juice Crew for the round 2 of the Ocho. After the pairing process we are relatively happy with our pairing grant, and I rated myself as a small win in this matchup, so we'll see if it's validated or not after the game. My list, you can play pause if you want to check it out. I explained it already in the past battle report. My opponent is playing basically a Death Star of Orc Headbasher, 2 units of Common Goblin with bows as scoring unit, 3 Wolf Chariot, 24 Gnasher Herd, 2 Piece of Chaff, 2 Gargantula, and then a Goblin King with a 1-up rollable, the Breast Weapon, and the Arrow's Art, and an Adept of Pyromancy from the Goblin. We are playing Counter Trust on the map 12, and the scenario for this round for everybody is Capture the Flag. Here you have the spell selection. Decided to go with Onyx Core to be able to threat the Gargantulas. The same goes for Quicksilver Lash and Silver Spike. Silver Spike is also a way to deal with the 1-up rollable character, as well as with my two bolt thrower. And of course I took 2 combat buff to be able to buff a little bit my unit in combat, especially the Bastion, +2 armor save and ward save. Yeah, this matchup basically has nothing to threat really my overload from distance, meaning I should be able to get good position to threat the Gargantulas, to threat the flags. The tank is a good tool because all his army has max strength 5, so I should be able to annoy him. Of course he has combat boost, but that's already a good start for the tank who has parry and toughness 7. The Savage block is the main threat for me. I need to deal with it to reduce it enough to avoid him going into combat and really threat my Bastion unit. So I should be able to target them with all my shooting and some of the magic. And of course, try to deploy the tank where he could be able to block the Savage if needed. Capture the Flags mean that my opponent has to come at me, because I will be able to kill some bodies from distance. So if he can come to me as soon as possible, he will try to rush me. And of course, because if it's Counter Trust, I should be able to use some of my units to put him as far away as possible to avoid a straight rush at me. Deployment, here you see how it went. My opponent put from left to right the Squig, the 1-up rollable character, first unit of Goblin, Gargantula with the Rebel Launcher, the unit of Savage with the General here, I guess, and BSB here, second unit of Goblin, the Chariot, Wolf Cavalry, second Wolf Cavalry, and the second Gargantula. And me, first of all, my first 4 drop were the Light Cavalry here in the middle to put him as far away as possible with his main unit. Then I put 2 War Machine here in the middle and 1 War Machine here to the left. And the rest was trying to put him a bit out of the game with the Squig and the character and maybe this Gargantula to basically put myself in the left part of the board, be able to drop back with the tank in the second phase and wait for him and be able to shoot him as much as I can before combat. That's basically the idea. Here of course I put my bull to threat the Gargantula coming forward in this corridor, try to threat him, and I will try to put him flammable as soon as possible to be able to go face him really in combat with the multiple wound Onyx Core. His turn 1, he comes forward, decide to use the chaff piece to chaff me, and is able to be within range of General PSB, so 8 rollable if I charge to make him terror. Yeah, and he's able to push forward, so the Squeak are more or less out of the game, and he pushed forward with the character and the Gargantula. Push forward as well with the Chariot, and here a bit on the left with Gargantula, leaving me with a 10 or 11 Swift Ride, 10 Swift Ride I guess, onto the Gargantula. But still a bit early for me, since I'm not sure I could really make him flammable, because he has no flammable token at the moment. In Magic, he fails Totemic Summon with 3 dice, then he tries Break the Spirit, boosted with 3 dice, fails again, and then he tries Chilling Owl, but I'm able to dispel it, so I should be able to do some damage with shooting, and he's able to cause 2 wounds here, but I'm able to save them with the 4 arm save with the balls from the Light Cavalry. My turn 1. I went backwards with the tank, And backward as well with the bull, I want to wait a bit more until I'm able to make him flammable, and I went a bit backward with more or less everybody, especially the light cavalry at the moment. Yeah, what else? In magic, I was able to cause 1 wound with Quicksilver Lash onto the left Gargantula. I tried a breath weapon to try to make this cavalry panic, but I wasn't able to get it. But I was able to get a soft comet here in the middle of the park. With shooting, I was able to kill this fast cav. I'm not sure that was the great idea, because this was chaffing the charge from the Gargantula. I was not afraid of this charge, but still, maybe I should have put just my shooting onto the chariot. And with shooting, I was able to cause 1 wound to the orc. And yeah, so kill this unit and to put 2 flammable tokens onto the leftmost Gargantula. So good for the later stages. His turn 2, he moves slightly forward on the left and is able to connect with a charge. He was able to wag, try the long charge, not so long, a 9 swift ride onto my bastion. I stand and shoot, did nothing, but he wasn't able to connect. To be honest, this wasn't a bad time for me to get this charge, because I would have been able to counter charge, and maybe I had still some time to give some chaff and gain some time. So I wasn't too bothered by him charging me with the chariot. And here it's a bit more scary, but we'll see. I was quite confident with the tank, so we'll see what happens. Depends a lot how he rolls, actually, with the poison and so on. So we'll see. Yeah, his magic. I used the Binding Scroll to avoid him casting +1 strength. I really want to avoid that. He's able to get the chilling boosted onto the middle, so affect more or less everybody to reduce my shooting. Then he tries reroll to hit hereditary. I'm able to dispel it on the tank, and then he put +1 to wound on the spider. He's able to cast it, so this is huge for him. The comet doesn't come down. And in combat, he's rolling like with 7 attack, like 5 poison. I'm able to save a couple of them, but still he caused totally 5 wounds to my tank, so that's a lot. And I roll like a 2, a 1, and a 1 on the D3 grinding, was only able to do 2 wounds to the Gargantula, so that's not enough. And he's able to win combat, but I'm unbreakable. My turn 2, my thought process was, why not use the slave to block him, frenzy bait the orc, and if I'm a bit lucky, we never know. With magic, I could be able to put 1-up armor save on the tank, then maybe survive. Here I'm charging with big flank charge, maybe a rank or 2, so you never know. I might win combat if he fluffs the roll, and maybe either pursue him or stick the Gargantula. I have to be a bit creative. Here, decided to just go forward with the bull. Basically, I block him going around me with Gargantula. Gargantula at the moment cannot charge either the Luga or the Bastion or the Hobgoblin, and I'm also made sure that with movement 7, so failing the march check on the 6 discipline, he couldn't not go out of my line of sight. So basically, I'm quite sure to kill him with the bull on the next turn. So why not? And yeah, just moved back as much as I could with the Bastion. And yeah, I will just try to shoot the chaff and be ready with the Lugar. At the moment I'm still quite far away, so I decided to back with the light cavalry. I didn't know exactly what to do to block this situation, because if he kills me, basically I'm in a bad shape. Just made sure that he's in the front of the Bastion unit. I could have used maybe the light cavalry to do something, but I was a bit afraid of all the possibilities and me failing terror and so on. And since I was here really in the back with the light cavalry, I wasn't really able to chaff really far away, so I guess the placement of the light cavalry in the past turn was not so great for me. In magic, I'm trying to cast a Quicksilver Lash on the Gargantula on the left, but I'm able to do nothing. I'm trying to cast +2 armor save on the tank, but dispelled by my opponent, and the soft comet doesn't come down. Still, I'm able to cause 2 wounds to Gargantula with I guess with shooting from... I guess I was able, yeah, to hit with the bolt thrower and to wound and cause 2 wounds. The mortar, I was only able to cause 2 wounds to the orc, 3 wounds to the orc, thanks to the chilling goal being active. And the Bastion was only able to kill 1 of the light cavalry. Before, I guess, I shot with the Goblin. I was able to kill only 1. So then I thought, yeah, no, let's shoot with the Bastion. Let's try to kill them. and I was only able to kill another one, and he was able to pass the panic check on 6 rerollable, I guess, because BSB is here, General is still here, so 6 rerollable, he was able to pass it, which is a big blow for me, because now he will be able to charge me and chaff me with the light cavalry. So, and I guess the positioning of the Lugar is not so great at the moment. I was a bit afraid of the chariot charging me, but still, I'm not so sure that's a great position to be for the Lugar at the moment. And yeah, combat on the right, sorry, forgot that almost. He's able to kill my tank, I'm not able to do anything to him, and he rolls really good, and he's able to kill a lot of my guys. I'm able to pass the steadfast and stay in combat. His turn 3, he charges with Gargantula, of course against my light cavalry. I flee to avoid him charging me in the flank, overrunning onto my bunker, so yeah, I cannot get that. So my light cav has to flee, he passes the 8 rerollable and charges my bolter. He is still in combat, he moves forward, was able to pass the frenzy check not to charge the orc, and moves forward. And here the chariot, who are flammable because of the last round of shooting of the ballista, are able to charge the bastion unit with stand and shoot. I did nothing, unfortunately for me. He used the remaining 3 calves to chaff the Lugar, and here, to my surprise, he decided, with 2 incendiary tokens and 5 remaining, decided to charge my overlord. Good thing for him is he will be able to strike before me. Bad thing is, afterwards it's my turn, and I could be able to do some interesting things, so we'll see. Yeah, that's it, I guess, for movement. And magic phase, he put break the spirit onto my bastion unit, I have to allow that. He put then a totemic summon, I have to allow that as well, here in the back. Then he tried to put +1 strength onto the chariot, which I dispelled. The comet didn't come down as well. I was expected it to come down because it's a couple of turns, so we have a lot of token on it. Could have been able to reach even the chariots, and then maybe cause some wound because it's flammable, so it's DT 1-2. Why not? But unfortunately not, so that 2 turns in a row, which I expected really the comet to come down to hurt a bit the chariot, but I wasn't able to do so. And close combat here, to my surprise, I had to use the Lugger dice on the Venomous Fang attack, which is causing multiple wounds. So I had a 4-up, rerolled a 4-up, and then a 5-up ward save, and still was able to cause me 2 wounds. Luckily not kill me, but cause me 2 wounds. And then with another attack, I was able to cause another wound. So I have only 1 wound remaining, but in return, with all my attacks, with reroll to wound, hatred, and multiple wound D3, I was able to kill him. So at least this is that, but I have only 1 wound remaining, which is bad. In combat, I was steadfast. No, he was losing by 1, actually. He had to pass a 7 rerollable and was able to pass it and stay in combat. And he was able to kill me, just reform. Here, I was still steadfast, I guess. Not so sure. I guess I was still steadfast. Yeah, since I took the discipline from another unit, I was still steadfast and was able to pass it, so he's still in combat, I guess. So, yeah. My turn 3. I decide to move, here to charge the chaff. I didn't know exactly what to do with the bull after I killed the Gargantula. Of course, I have only 1 wound remaining, so I don't really want to, to go on against a big brick or unit which is strength 5 or Gargantula. I cannot afford to go against this kind of threat. So I have to go threat. I decided to use it to threat the flags. That was my idea. So I went out of arc of the big unit, within range of the comet, but I have 2-up ward save against fire, so I should be fine. And only taking 2 DTs. And here I just saw, you can do what you want. I should be able to threat either this one or that one. So we'll see. Here, the Lugar, unfortunately for me, I took the charge, he fled. Unfortunately for me, I failed the 9 to reform, so I'm looking the wrong way. Yeah, that's annoying. I guess I should have tried to redirect onto a long charge to the maybe block. And just expect, because I wasn't able to see the chariot, just expect to fail. I guess maybe double 6 or 11 was maybe possible. Still a scary combat. I don't know, to be honest with you, what I should have done, but here I'm looking really the wrong way. Turn around the Goblin to shoot at the Totemic Summon. And here basically I made a strange formation to be able to give a 12 to the Titan Mortar. We need to chaff the Gargantula. while trying to be as far as possible from the little spider. That's the best I could do, but I'm looking really in a bad shape at the moment. Yeah, magic phase, I was able to cast a 5-up ward save, because I have to expect, unfortunately for me, the Orc Savage to come against me, and they are looking still a big scary unit. I tried to put +2 armor save with 4 dice against 3, but my opponent was able to dispel it. And then I tried a Quicksilver Lash against Spider, but failed. I tried to put the Breast Weapon onto himself, but my opponent was able to dispel it. And shooting, finally something really lucky, the Hobgoblin were able to kill, the Vassal Levies were able to kill the Totemic Summon. So luckily for me. And close combat, only 1 life point was remaining. He has to flee, fled over everybody, was able to pass the 8 rollable on the scoring unit, and still the comet didn't come down, so we are still waiting for it. His turn 4, yeah, was able to connect with all charges. So here it was a 7 or 8 on the dice, he was able to get it. Here it was an 11 on the dice, was able to get it. And here was able to charge me with Gargantula, of course, I was able to pass the 9 rollable for the terror. And here I thought big mistake, should have put the BSB on his own here and move away with the bunker, because we are playing flag, it's a scoring unit, so that was really dumb for me. I should have at least moved the general out so far away as possible, because this was really a bad decision for me. Really looking in a bad shape at the moment. Yeah, in Magic, he tried to put +1 strength onto the Savage, I was able to dispel it. Then he tries Hereditary Spell, was able to cast it. And he tried, to my surprise, Flaming Sword. He forgot probably that I have Ward Save 5-up and +1 Ward Save from Hand of Glory, so would have been nice for me. I guess it's still more or less the same as wounding me on 4+, or wounding me on 3+, no, wounding me on 3+ or 2+, and then I have 5-up, 4-up, or 5-up, 5-up, I don't know, to be honest. It's slightly better for me probably with Flaming Sword, so I expected him to cast it. And yeah, the Comet comes down and kills a couple of them, they take a panic check, they flee, which is good because scoring unit, kill a couple of Orcs, kill a couple of them, and 1-2 Squig. And I had to pass 2 DTs, I rolled a 1 and a 2, so I have 1 ward save 2+, and I roll a 1, which is a fail, so my bull is dead. So yeah, that was my single chance to try to have some kind of comeback, because at the moment, the way the things were looking, the Squig weren't able to charge past them, so I could have been able to charge them, or charge them. I had some possibilities, to be honest, to threat the flags, so it's a bit frustrating to not have this chance because the bull died, but yeah, that's life, what can you do? And here, close combat, he killed me, reform, I guess, killed my BSB. I expected maybe to survive. He has a couple of attack, I have weapon skill 6 and toughness 5. I thought maybe I can survive, so I challenged with the BSB, but I accepted challenge with the BSB. I have no champion and was able to kill my BSB. And this combat, I was able to pass my steadfast. I guess, yeah, we made this combat first because he was looking forward to overrun towards my bunker, but I was able to pass the steadfast here, made a couple of ward saves, so that was good news for me, and the comet helped slightly to kill a couple of orcs, so that was good news for me at least. And yeah, here I was able to stick on a 9 with no reroll, but it's looking really bad for me. My turn 4. Yeah, basically I'm stuck in combat, waiting to fail Stubborn, Steadfast, just turn around the Lugard to be able to threat him, turn around the Goblin to shoot, and that's it. Magic, I had the smallest card, I put 5 dice plus 2 armor save here, I have no choice, and I was able to get it off. This might help me. We are still in a challenge with the BSB because the Comet killed his champion, and with the BSB we are in a challenge. Last turn I rolled a 1 to wound with the crush attack. This turn I'm able to kill him, so that's something good. The BSB is dead, and I was able to cause a couple of wounds, but still he did a ton of wounds against me, and I have to flee. And I was really stupid because I decided to do this combat first, which is stupid because then he had just to make a middle to long pursue and was able to get in this unit. But I mean, in any case, I was pretty sure to lose this unit, but maybe not at this point, so this is making just things a bit easier for him, which is really not needed at the moment. And yeah, until turn 6, he's able to kill almost everything. Failed a middle charge with the Savage against the Hobgoblin. I was able to save them. The Lugar had to flee the first charge of the Savage. Then I was able to reform, I guess. I don't remember exactly, but I had to flee with Feign Flight and then fail the first rally. And then I had to flee again, and then I was able to rally on the 9. So yeah, I lost a lot of things, and this ended up being a 1-19. So heavy loss. Well done, team. You played way better than me. I made too many mistakes, so well done. Yeah, my priority was to avoid the Death Star being too complete, going too intact, going into combat, and I wasn't able to do that. So my plan was not good at all. Cruel ending for the Overlord, of course. I had a small chance of fighting back, but thanks to my opponent charging me. I guess he shouldn't have charged me, should have just moved back, let me charge him, and just lose another turn, and so on. So I guess that was a mistake on team's part. And of course, I had some interesting idea during deployment, but that wasn't good enough, especially the tank being so far away from the rest. Should have been either more to the left and ensure that I have good line of sight with War Machine, or completely to the right and be well deployed, maybe with the Lugar going against the Squigs, and then be more compact to the back, causing more problem, because here that was not good enough at all. And of course, one of the mistakes that I'm doing at the moment when I lose a fight, lose a game, when I'm getting rushed, I'm still not able to really limit the damage of what I can save as points. Here especially, the general should have been able to finish the game alive, so that was not good enough on my part, and I think I lost at least 1 point or 2 with not being able to really minimize the lost points. So a bit frustrating for myself, and of course that's some point that I'm missing for the team at the end. And yeah, well done to my tanks. Big shout out to my teammates. They did a good round. They were able to get a lot of points. We were almost capped. I think we finished with 92. So almost 100. Of course, a lot of points missing from my game especially. So I missed something big. Well done to my colleague. Sorry about my loss. And of course, try to do better the next round. That's always how it is. But still very frustrating when you make that many mistakes during a game. I just hope I was able to learn from this game, and that we'll be able to take some lessons going forward. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game. Trying to make my game also available on my Discord channel, so you can always try to check out UB. There are always some games going on in the ocho. The password is the same, I guess, for all these games. It's always ocho, O-C-H-O. So you can watch a lot of interesting games from big players. So I strongly recommend you, if you want to have a look at these games. I think it's not a bad idea to see a bit how the best players are playing. So quite interesting match at the moment. Especially also for myself, testing the new Infernal Dwarf army book, learning a bit how the different unit works and what they bring to the table. So quite interesting. I still have the feeling that I struggle a little bit to play for the different objectives. That's the problem when you play a 2-shooty list. Basically, you struggle to play for the objective. You struggle to gain board control overall, because you always need to kill some things with shooting before thinking about going forward. And there are not a lot of matches where my opponent can do more damage than me with range damage, normally. And therefore, the opponent will be coming at me and trying to get the charges, going into combat, and I'm going to go very often a bit back, and therefore that's maybe one of the problems I identify. But we'll see if it's just an impression based on the first 2 games. We'll see the next game how it went. I saw in the first game where I was able to cause some problem with magic and shooting. Then I'm able in the second phase to go forward, so that's also a good aspect of the list. Especially the Bastion unit is quite solid. Here I was just not able to give him enough support in the key combat. So thanks a lot for watching, and talk to you soon in a new battle report regarding the ocho. And actually in 2 weeks more or less, I'm having a tournament, live tournament with real models, with a very close combat oriented Infernal Dwarves army. So I'm really looking forward also to bring you 3 new battle report with with my models, painted models. Really looking forward to it. So thanks a lot for watching and looking forward to this new battles report. Bye.